Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight. Tonight's story is called Hibernation Hotel by John Kelly and Laura Brunlla. Once upon a time, it was way past hibernation time, but Bear just couldn't sleep. His cave, as usual, was far too crowded. Raccoon snored, Beaver fidgeted, and Skunk, frankly, was a little bit whiffy. "I've had enough of being treated like a big furry mattress," Bear harumphed. And so he got up, made a phone call, and booked himself into a fancy hotel. "Ah," said Bear as he drove away. "Peace and quiet at last." The hotel was huge and fancy, just like the receptionist's moustache. Bear tried not to stare at it while he checked in. "Would sir like a wake-up call?" asked the receptionist. "Yes, please," said Bear. "March the 1st. The bellboy showed Bear to his room. It was bigger than his whole cave. "This is the life," whooped Bear, bouncing up and down on the bed. "And look at these snacks," Bear cheered. He didn't know which one to eat first, and so he ate them all, then washed everything down with a huge slurp of water. Then he Bear used every bottle of shampoo and all the hot water too. Then he dried his hair, brushed his teeth, and flopped, exhausted, into bed. "Oh, perfect," he yawned as he closed his eyes, and boom, bitty boom, 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 thump, thump, thump. Didn't fall asleep. "A party?" groaned Bear. "This is worse than Raccoon's snoring." He stomped down the corridor. "Would you mind keeping that noise down?" he growled, ever so politely. He stomped down the corridor. "Would you mind keeping the noise down?" he growled ever so politely. "I'm trying to hibernate." His fellow guests were only too happy to oblige, and Bear stumbled back to bed. But no matter how much he tossed and turned, Bear just could not sleep. He moaned. "This bed is too squishy for a big-boned bear." So he flung the bedding onto the floor and crawled beneath the heap. Toasty," sighed Bear, snuggling down. He grew toastier, then roastier, until... "Oh, botheration," he cried. "Now I'm too blinking hot." He threw off the bedding, opened the window wide, and let the cool night air ruffle his fur. Soon, Bear wasn't hot anymore, but he wasn't sleepy either. "Oh, maybe a spot of TV will help me snooze," he sighed, and began to flick through the channels. There was nothing on but wildlife shows, and for some reason, they made Bear feel sad, and so he turned the TV off and flopped back into bed. Bear lay in the dark, wide awake and all alone. "I just don't get it," he huffed. "I'm in a luxurious bed with no snoring, fidgeting, or skunky whiffs, and I still can't sleep." Deep in the pit of Bear's tummy, there was a strange, hollow, empty feeling. And right then, Bear knew exactly why he couldn't sleep. "I'm hungry," he howled. A bear can't be expected to sleep on an empty tummy. And Bear phoned room service. "I'd like to order the menu, please," he said. "All of it." And a few minutes later there was a knock at the door. The bellboy wheeled in the trolley. Bear licked his lips and lifted the largest cover. But instead of a fabulous feast, he found his furry friends. "What are you doing here?" bellowed Bear. "We missed you," they cried. "We can't get to sleep without you." Soon, Bear was buried beneath a pile of his sleepy pals, and even though Raccoon snored, even though Beaver fidgeted, and even though Skunk was still a bit whiffy, Bear didn't mind. He was finally fast asleep. The end of Hibernation Hotel by John Kelly and Laura Brunlla. Here on the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls, and bears that can't sleep around the world. Good night